So there are essentially two principles that completely changed my life, and they're related. The first is this idea of leadership, that I could envision a future that wasn't on track to exist and then start to bend my path to get there. And when that became more than an idea, when that became a practical truth in my life, everything started to shift. Because I didn't need to wait for permission or wait for an offer. I could just start to create the future that I was intending to create. It was huge, and it sounds like an obvious concept. I guess it is, until you have to decide if it's real. And once you do that, it becomes much more powerful in your life. Which brings up the second principle that completely changed my life. This notion that ideas could become more than a concept. They could become a code of conduct. That it wasn't about learning the next thing, it was about putting into practice the stuff that you already knew. Let me give you an example. I was studying careers for a long time, studying successful and fulfilling careers, and after a couple of years of doing that, nothing in my work had changed. And I didn't even realize the disconnect. I was so easily distracted by learning the next thing that I never stopped and said, what if I just put into practice the stuff I already know? And that's when things shift from, again, being a concept to being something that you're actually going to show up differently to. Think about this from a different perspective. Healthy eating. So many people want to pick up the next book. Instead of just putting to practice the stuff they already know, they want to learn a different angle on it instead of just doing it. And there's a difference between things you need to learn and things you need to live. And I've got this little mental model that helps me with this. I call them if-then statements, and it kind of works like basic computer code. This idea that if you put your bank card in the bank machine, then it would ask you for your PIN number. It was just like this simple relationship between cause and effect. So I think about these concepts that way. If I'm unhappy with my work, and I'm the boss of my own unhappiness, then I must make a change. See, this if-then statement allows you to have this clear connection between what's happening and what you need to do about it. And when you put those two things together, it starts to raise some important questions. For example, what is the thing that's not on track in your life that you're looking to build? And then, if that's the case, then what are you going to do about it?